Peace and blessings to the tribe. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. Remember, they said it now. We're speaking on it. I am Mr. Telescope, and you are not watching Telescope Channel. So, getting straight into this news, man. Today we're gonna be talking about the Dave Chappelle special on Netflix. It was really good. I don't know if you watched it. If you didn't watch it, it's a must-watch. You should, especially if you come from Black American culture. If you know anything about Black American culture, you should definitely watch it. But nevertheless, it was just a funny ass special, and it was really surrounded around and on the basis of really free speech. He talked about Charlie Kirk. He talked about Diddy and whole synopsis of maybe Diddy got locked up on the Mann Act, which it was, but he talked about everything correlating around that case that was really targeted towards the Mann Act. What he didn't mention, I thought he would, but I guess he probably didn't really want to get too much flack for it because he knew he was already saying a lot. But he talked about Jack Johnson and the Mann Act. He even said it in the white folks' face, like, this nigga going home with a white bitch. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that I think that he said in that special that would be contrary to his audience. And I think once he talked about going to Saudi Arabia, getting the money over there, also getting slandered because he went over there to go work with them. He talked about not supporting Israel and this whole big support of Israel. There's a lot of things he talked about in that special, which is why it's a must watch. And if you got ears to see, meaning if you're using your brain, not just your ears on your head, but if you're using your brain and you got ears to see, you can definitely visualize, hear, and comprehend with what this brother's saying. A lot of talking points on there were already popular opinion things that people had already been saying in the community, but for him to say it lets you know that people at the top feel the same way. Also, he also spoke on that too, where you have people that are considerably conspiracy theorists, and they have these ideas that this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened. And he even, adamantly opened up and said, like, look, I feel the same way. But what I'm not going to do is say, I know. If it's not a hardcore fact, I'm not going to say, I know. I might say, I think, or I had an assumption, or this leads me to believe, but I'm not going to say, I know. As if it's indefinite that he knows the facts of these situations, which is true, because a lot of times nowadays you do get a lot of fake news. You got a lot of people presenting and posting stuff as if they know what's going on, as if they're inside man, or they're right there watching and seeing what's going on, and they're relaying it to us, which is false. And a nice quote that he said that lingered on with me. There's a lot of stuff that lingered on with me throughout that special, but one of the things he did say that stood out to me was, I don't trust a motherfucker that's sure, not in this day and age. You know what I'm saying? Because if you sure, either you misleading me and you telling false news, fake news, and you don't know shit, or you in cahoots with people that you shouldn't be with. So you misleading me anyways. So it was a lot of stuff that he said in this special that I found very intriguing. You guys should go check it out if you haven't watched it. I don't want to give any spoiler alerts, but if you watched it, make sure you stay tuned. Drop your city and state in the comment section. Let me know who y'all represent. And also, if you're watching this video, make sure you go check out my last video that I dropped. It's probably like an hour long. If you're really into hip hop news and stuff like that, a lot of rappers have been talking about the streets is dead. F the streets and stuff like that. And I kind of did damn near an hour long compilation on that whole topic. It's like 30 minutes of clips with rappers saying, F the streets, and rappers saying we love the streets, F the suburbs, and so on and so forth. And then 30 minutes of commentary. So if you got the time, if you're at work, you're not doing much, make sure y'all go check out that video. Very, very, very informative video. And it's from my perspective. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I know more than anybody else, but from the life that I live, the people that I've been around, I think I know a little bit more than most. So make sure y'all go check that out. Very informative video and entertaining. Nevertheless, man, let's get straight into this news though. So we're gonna start off first with the Falcon joke, right? The Falcon joke was so synonymous and it was so clever and humorous because, like, you can tell that these dudes write these jokes, but it was so clever and humorous because he actually used that same bit throughout the whole stand-up. He actually mentioned it with Stevie Wonder, which he laced me up and I didn't even know. Stevie Wonder had something to do with Martin Luther King's birthday actually being a holiday. Initially, before, they had to fight for that to become a holiday. And as a matter of fact, 100 people voted on it, and only 99 people said, yeah, it's a holiday. And one person said, nah, I ain't rocking with it. That one person happened to be John McCain. And John McCain then ran for president. And when he ran for president, so ironic how time, it's funny how time works, because when he ran for president, the day that he ran for president was, I believe, Martin Luther King's, birthday. And he lost to a black man. So the irony, man, like, the irony in time, like, time has a funny sense of showing things and revealing things or answering your questions. Time is very ironic. So I thought that was very intriguing and interesting. Also, Stevie Wonder actually made the song, the black happy birthday, as we know, happy birthday to ya, happy birthday. He made that song for Martin Luther King. And it became so big that they fought for the rights to get the day. They wound up getting it, but like I said, one of the people and the person that actually tried to stop it, the one person that didn't agree with it, even though everybody else voted for it, 99 people voted for it, the one person that didn't agree with it was John McCain. And Dave Chappelle, he goes on to tell a story that a lot of us didn't know, where he went to go visit Stevie at a show, and he referenced the Falcon joke. I'm gonna let you guys watch it, but he referenced the Falcon joke towards Stevie Wonder, and then he continues to go on and say, after the show, Stevie was like, John McCain has just passed away. Go visit him for us. Dave was like, man, I'd much rather go to Detroit with you, but all right, I'll go visit him. So he follows up that to wrap it up, just to say, like, we need more people like, Stevie Wonder. Because a lot of this stuff that he was exposing, I didn't even know, man. And I think that, like, the celebrity class, when they're exposing what's going on in these back rooms, is very interesting to the normal person, because your average person is not going through that type of stuff at those heights. Like, yeah, we see crazy shit on the daily, but these people see crazy shit that we see, and plus more, times 10. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine the artists and people that was in that world that was involved with Puffy and R. Kelly and, you know what I'm saying, these people. So I found that very interesting. He also spoke on me and Nipsey for the first time. He said He said he was rocking with T.I. T.I. was taking him around the city and stuff like that. You know, he showed him like, oh man, this is what Future used to play in the playground at, or that's what Outkast started over there. But this is where Martin Luther King lived. This is where he raised his kids. This is where he used to preach at. You know, he was like, I'm gonna show you the real Atlanta. And that was the real Atlanta that he showed him. You know what I'm saying? That's some real shit. Like showing him the history of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was interesting as well. But he followed up, and they went to a party. They went to a club party or whatever, and he said he was standing with T.I. I think he had just like did a set or something like that. He had just did a set, and he was standing with T.I. And you know, everybody was saying, "What's up, Tip? What's up, Davis?" And that, and then everybody was going crazy about this one dude, but he didn't know who the dude was. And everybody just going crazy about this dude and like surrounding around this dude and screaming and taking pictures and woody wham. And then Dave was like, man, shit, hey, Tip, man, who this guy you brought with you, man? Who is this dude? He's like, oh man, that's the future of that's the future of hip hop. And you know, Dave didn't just settle for that because he didn't know. You know what I'm saying? You didn't give him enough, so Dave didn't just settle for that. So he actually approached the brother and asked him, "Hey man, what's your name, man? Who are you, man?" You know what I'm saying? I said, all the people coming up to you, who are you? And the dude responded and said, "Man, I'm Nipsey Hussle." And from that moment, he said that they had a bond, and then they wound up going to a party. They hung out that night. They went to a party that he'll never forget. So he went back home and told his wife. He was like, he said normally he come home and tell his wife, you know, like, man, yeah, I had a good time last night, man. It was fun. I hung out this, you know, like, but this time he was like, man, baby, I met a man that's older than me, but he's younger than me, but he's older than me. And then his wife was like, you know, like, well, what you mean? You know what I'm saying? He was like, well, bitch, I don't know. The nigga was just like a fortune cookie. It's like hanging around a fortune cookie. He had an answer for everything. So he then goes on to say that he never forgot that night, and he winded up meeting later on down the line. He said he winded up meeting Lauryn Hill. Not Lauryn Hill. Why the hell I said that? Not Lauryn Hill, Lauren London. And Lauren London told him that you know, Nipsey had mentioned that night and how much fun he had with him and stuff like that. And he was like, that touched him or whatever. He said later on, he was invited to a party, which he wasn't going to go at first, but, you know, he wound up going to a familiar place. And it wound up being a Nipsey party. It was a party for his Grammys. Or for him being Grammy nominated. And he said he just felt like the party was being surveillanced, you know, by the hip hop police and stuff like that. Which is, all of this is gonna tie into the whole Diddy thing. He said Diddy was there, Jay-Z was there, everybody that's respected, you know, was there. But rewind into, you know, a little bit back into the stand-up special. He speaks on how the hip hop police was created and who they were created for, but who they started targeting afterwards. And he speaks on the hip hop police being created for Christopher Wallace, Biggie, as we know, and Sean Combs, Diddy, as we know. And he said he goes into a club, and one of the guys he know in the club, he like, man, hey man, watch out, these lights are different in here, man. The lights shine different in here. Really the dude trying to tell him, hey look, you know, this place is being surveillanced. And he says, well, I ain't doing shit, so I'm just here hanging out, partying, I ain't, you know. But he said he got that same feeling, fast forward, he said he got that same feeling when he went to that Grammy nomination party for Nipsey. He felt like the lights were different. It was being surveillance. Lo and behold, Diddy was there too. So it probably was. But he says a lot of things in this special that leads you to be like, things that make you go, You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's one of them specials, man. I ain't gonna lie. And I think the special is called The Unstoppable Nigga. But he also, to move on to the Diddy thing, he also references Jack Johnson, in his case, the Mann Act. As we all know, it's been a popular talking point amongst the black community. He talks about the Mann Act and how Jack Johnson got the heavyweight belt from Tommy Burns, whatever his name is, white Canadian boxer. Beat him up and then called out an American fighter. He also speaks on, why wasn't this guy, Jack Johnson, given the opportunity to fight an American fighter? Why he had to get a chance at the belt from a Canadian fighter? And he says, as we all know, the heavyweight title in boxing is one of the most renowned and prestigious titles to have amongst all sports. Because when you boxing, this ain't really a team sport, it's like a solo sport. Then heavyweight is like a whole nother animal. I mean, y'all see what happened to your boy Jake Paul. Yeah, he got $95 million, but he didn't get it easy. He probably done spent a good. He might be at like 90, 94, 93. After he spent some good money on getting that instant jaw repair surgery. You know what I'm saying? Because his jaw was broken. Could have been worse if the training wasn't right. Could have been worse. Who knows? It might be worse mentally. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't the easy $95 million that he picked up. But he talked about Cassie, he talked about Diddy, he talked about the Mann Act, the Jack Johnson case. And he spoke on Jack Johnson beating the dude, Tommy, and then calling out one of, at that time, one of the greatest white fighters that was known to be in the U.S. And the dude never took the fight because he was scared. He knew what time it was, but he was that's where the phrase comes from, the Great White Hope. He was the Great White Hope for the U.S. They never gave a black man that type of shot. Same thing I was talking about in the last video with Terrence Crawford. They had never put Terrence Crawford out there on the market and put him out there in the forefront in order for him to be the Terrence Crawford that we know that can beat Canelo and whoop Earl Spence's ass, you know what I'm saying? They never had put him out in the forefront like that, so we never knew about a Terrence Crawford. But Terrence Crawford, if you really into boxing and you watch tape, Terrence Crawford had always existed, always been a skilled fighter, always been an elite fighter. So, same thing with Jack Johnson. They never put him out there to grasp the opportunity to be a heavyweight champion of the world. And when the opportunity was given, this brother, took full advantage of that opportunity. And he kicked the Canadian ass, and he kicked the dude ass who was a Great White Hope. Left the ring with a white woman, and it was riots after that. This is all what Dave Chappelle is saying in the it's well noted and known, but this is all what Dave Chappelle is saying in the stand-up, man. That's why I say it's a must-watch, man. It's really a must-watch. If you don't know a lot about black history and stuff like that, you're gonna learn something about black history. If you know about black history, you're gonna be very intrigued about this special. Like one of the things that also stood out to me that he said in this whole stand-up was, he was like, Jack Johnson was going through, I believe the Mason-Dixon line, and he was going through a racist ass town. And they told him, they was like, man, it costs $200 for a nigger to be speeding through these streets like this, or these back roads like this. You know what I'm saying? Jack Johnson threw him $200 and said he threw him $400. As a matter of fact, I correct myself. Threw him $400 and said, I'll be back. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming back through here. At that point in time, $200 is like, $50,000. You know what I'm saying? The equivalent of $50,000. This is what's being said on the special. So it's a lot of things that will stick with you as a black man, black woman, black person. You know what I'm saying? If you watch the special. Even as a white person, you can watch it and it'll still be funny. Like the Falcon joke, I thought that was just so hilarious. I'm not even gonna lie. That shit tickled me, man. That was a funny bit. That was a funny bit, and he was able to use it for different stuff. Whether he used it for the trannies, he used it for the trannies and the transgenders, and then he used that joke just all through for Stevie Wonder. He just used that joke to death, man. It was a funny joke over and over in different ways. He used it, and every time it was funny. Bust out loud, laughing, funny. So it is a must see. If you got Netflix, you know what I'm saying, you should watch it. If you don't got Netflix, make sure you get you like a little week subscription or something like that. Try to finesse and finagle. And I know how y'all do. Y'all get pay like $1, get the Netflix for 7 days, the 7-day trial, and you got to pay the $21 or $14 or whatever, and then you cancel it. Do something like that, man. But you gotta watch this. The special is real. It's real funny. So kick your feet up, get you something good to snack on and eat on, and watch it. You know what I'm saying? It's a real good special. But he speaks on the Diddy case, and when he speaks on the Diddy case, he talks about Diddy being pretty much charged with the Mann Act, like not being charged for beating on Cassie. He made a funny joke about Cassie getting beat on, which is funny, but he slipped it by so smooth. I mean, and I might just have to go ahead and give it a little bit more elaboration, because I don't take the DV and all of that stuff and abuse lightly, but it's just how he did it was just so clever and smooth. Like, that's why he's one of the greats. So he says, he was like, man, Cassie got beat on, but that's not what he was charged with. And then Cassie made $35 million or $34 million, and she was beat on. That's before the whole case that we know that he's being charged with even came up. Right? He was like, man, people done fought Floyd Mayweather for less and made less. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought that was a very, very funny bit. I thought it was a funny bit. But it's stuff like that just, just shows you like why God put comedians on the earth. I said this in one of my last videos as well. Like, God gave us people that were just naturally, like, everybody knows somebody that's just naturally funny. Like, man, that motherfucker funny, man. I don't know, it's how he talk, what he say, his mannerisms, or she funny, man. I don't know what she say, how she talk, her mannerisms. She just funny. Everybody knows somebody that's just naturally funny, and the mannerisms and all that stuff. And I think that God put people like that on the earth. That's their gift. Everybody has a gift. That's their gift. God put people like that on the earth to give us a little bit of comedic relief from the hardships and the times of the wicked that we're going through. You know what I'm saying? Because you have this 1% of people that are controlling the world and making things hard for us. You know what I'm saying? Hard for the masses. Why should you have to pay for a free world? Why should you have to pay for water when water's free? Why won't we use this technology to create water and to create something that can clean and filter the water so that kids can have? I don't want your kids to have more than my kids. I don't want my kids to have more than your kids. But why can't we create something to where, everybody has somewhere to stay at? Shouldn't be no homelessness. Everybody, all these properties that are vacant and stuff like that. I mean, I think it should go by like, who's working harder and stuff like that. This person deserves this person deserves that. And I think that's where the money comes in, like the standard for money. But a lot of people that don't have and that's homeless, they can damn near, I know people that are homeless that can damn near, if they had the resources, they can build their own damn houses. You know what I'm saying? They know more about carpentry than the person that's staying in, a $5 million wooden house. They know they can build a house if they had the the tools and materials to do so. So I think that it's just like, God just like, so I don't get too deep, but God put comedians here just for, the masses, for the people, man. That was something that he gave us. If you don't see him there, it's somebody that's there in his presence, somebody that's there that can make you smile in a hard time. If you lost a loved one or a significant other or a child, there's somebody that can put a little smile on your face and help you get through those hard times and stuff like that. Not saying it's gonna make it go away, but it's something that can, be antidotal to the pain that you're going through. So that's what I think Dave Chappelle is, man. And he speaks on the Mann Act, which I feel like he didn't speak about R. Kelly, because R. Kelly was charged with the Mann Act too. I think he was actually specifically charged with the Mann Act. I think they actually said it, but R. Kelly was charged with it too. It's just that R. Kelly did so much heinous shit over the time, and he didn't have P. Diddy money to the point where, it was easier for them to knock him off the map. And once they did R. Kelly like that, I thought that they felt that as if though they can do Diddy like that as well. And that just happened to be not the case. So, when you look at these cases, you just see that, Diddy was charged for overstate trafficking and interstate trafficking, whatever you want to call it, state-to-state trafficking, a woman. But a lot of these people was getting money. They was on the same drugs that he was on. They was, willingly, participating in these acts, actually picking out people to participate in these acts with Diddy. And they wasn't forced to do these things, And some of the people that they picked out are claiming to be victims now, because everything is a money grab now. Like you got to do Kurt Burrows. He wasn't picked out, but it's been said that he was Diddy's boo thing along. I mean, and the evidence kind of shows. I mean, you had 25% of Bad Boy. You signed it over to Diddy. You must have really trusted him. That's like some lover's trust. You know what I'm saying? That ain't no regular, man, you my dog, you my bro type of trust. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gave over 25% of Bad Boy. You wrote it over to the owner at that. You know what I'm saying? This dude gonna screw you over. He's the owner of the company. You done gave him back the 25% share of his company. I'm up 25% in my company. Or are you out of the picture? That's good business. Like, that's good business. You know what I'm saying? Like, sound like it was like some type of intimacy involved there. You know what I'm saying? Like, any man with any type of sense, you're not gonna sell. You might give your share to another company, and you probably wouldn't even do that. But I'm just saying, like, if you would happen to do it in a million years, you would give it to another company and then try to get it back. You know what I'm saying? And hope that you can fight through the legal system and get it back if they try to steal it. But you're not gonna give it to the owner of the company. You know what I'm saying? That just don't make any sense. They're not gonna give it back. Like, now I own damn near 100% of my company. My mama got the other 75%. You know what I'm saying? Now I own your 25%. I own 100% of this company. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna get this shit back. This is my company. I started this. So, it seemed like it was like some type of intimate dealing and involvement there. But now he asking for lawsuits and stuff like that. You got the other dude, Lil Rod, he asking for lawsuits. The other girl from Daddy Kane asking for lawsuits and money. All these people were involved in asking for money. Cassie, she asking for money. Sue the dude, still took him to court and still asking for more money after she left him and got with the trainer. You know what I'm saying? So that is definitely like, you know what I'm saying? It seems like, they try to sabotage and take this dude down for that whole Diageo liquor deal. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna linger on it too long. It's just so many key points in this thing that you can just touch and talk about and touch on. But you gotta say no Diddy when you're saying touch on. It's a very sensitive topic. But yeah, man. When I seen the whole, people asking for bread and, you know what I'm saying, trying to get by and stuff like that. I mean, motherfucker don't even care if they get $1 million crumbs from that. You know what I'm saying, from that type of lawsuit or whatever. Like, people just have no type of integrity, man. Everybody just coming out in a which way forward and just saying, like, they got butt graped and all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Niggas talking about they woke up sore and all. Just no type of integrity. You know what I'm saying? That's some shit you take to the grave with you, man. I mean, it's obvious, niggas do anything for money, man. $1 million, man, niggas will do anything for it, man. And Diddy is supposedly, allegedly promised, $2 billion from off of that liquor deal that he sued them and won, I believe. So that's a whole nother topic. And you know, people was like vultures. You know, people want your money, and I mentioned this in one of my last videos, but that's one of the prolific and iconic things that Kanye West said to me was that, you know, when you get to this point and you get money like this, it ain't about making more money. It's about, you know, keeping your money, because everybody trying to sue you, everybody trying to, you know, steal from you. You got your bank accountant and people not doing your taxes right. They taking money while you out handling business and stuff like that. You got allegations and stuff like that coming against you, and everybody want to be around you so they can sue you and put allegations on you. Like look at Shannon Sharp. He got to one of his peaks in his career, and you know, somebody sent a woman at him and made him lose damn near half of his fortune. And now she living, you know, fat off the hog, and she ain't never have to work hard or grind hard to do anything. It just hurt me more that it's a white woman that's benefiting off of the slavery and the work off of a black man's back. You know, I think Shannon should have been a bit more smarter than that. But in situations like that, you know what I'm saying, that make you just, you know what I'm saying, that make you just keep an eye opener on these type of topics, man, these type of situations. Like if you ever get 25 million or you up, you know, 600 million or 200 million, or you have to create something, have an idea, and it makes 200 million in the revenue, and you know, the equity in the company might be 400 million. You want to just watch out, man. People will be trying to knock you off of the board of your own company. You know what I'm saying? Your husband and your wife might be trying to hurry up and divorce you and come up with cheating allegations. They might send a woman or a man at you so they can divorce you and get half of your, you know what I'm saying, what you worked hard for to build. You know what I'm saying? Nobody don't want to put in no work no more nowadays. So that's one of the things that I look at, man, and I just be like, man, you know, it's kind of how shit it's America though, man, but how shit works over here, man, is messed up. You know what I'm saying? It's capitalist. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's capitalist. It's messed up though. But nevertheless, man, now tell me what y'all think in the comment section about a lot of the stuff that I just said. I'm not gonna give away the whole special and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be some type of like mystique or something like that for y'all to watch. For the people that watched it, you know what I'm talking about, and you know what's true. And y'all drop y'all comments in the comment section and let me know y'all thoughts on what I said, or like let me know if you watched the special. Let me know if I missed anything that you thought was intriguing. Make sure y'all drop y'all city and state in the comment section, represent, you know what I'm saying? Let me know where y'all watching from. Appreciate y'all coming to watch, man. Remember, man, they said it, now we speaking on it. I am Mr. Telescope, and you are now watching Telescope Channel. Telescope.